then I said to him, I think I would respect you more if you were a fucking pedophile.
Yeah.
You know what he does? He literally goes, he's obviously laughing. He says to people in the show, yo, this guy says he would rather if we were pedophiles. When I hear it back to my own ears, I'm like, it's fucking absurd for me.
G'day, pie lovers. It's time again. Welcome to At This Moment. I've got World Cup fever. Have you got a fever?
Mate, it just fully hit me then. We're going to both games. Well, two of the three group games for Australia. I just bought my tickets to Croatia versus Panama in Toronto. So I've got another match to go and see.
That's
got my two countries here I'm repping. Yeah. And it was funny. I just got the tickets off one of those repost websites. What do you reckon I paid for Croatia versus Panama in Toronto per ticket?
Croatia versus
Category 3
Panama.
ticket.
Category 3. Oh, so that's up in the top there?
Yeah, in the Croatian fans section.
$150.
Oh, no. No, it was $1,200 for the two tickets.
What, $600 a piece?
$600 a piece because there's a lot of Croats.
It's more expensive for Croatia than Australia v Turkey.
Oh, yeah, she's expensive. And I bought them online, and then a random guy called Lucas followed me online with like 12 followers. And this is the man I must have bought the ticket off. And he says, no problem, enjoy. Cheer them to victory for me. Send pictures from the seats. And then he says to me, hey, you want tickets to the other games? I can sell to you away from Viagogo. Or
he's decided not to go, hasn't he? He's just some fella's like, I wanted to go, but I've said some questionable things about Trump. I'm not sure if I can get in.
Well, I was listening to people discuss this. Okay, so Bosnia-Herzegovina, the average wage,
one of my favorite models.
Well, the average wage is $900 a month.
Yes,
and if they were to come and get a ticket, some of their games are going for $500-600 a ticket as well, right? If you think about return flights, accommodation, and one game, we're talking 4 months or 5 months salary for fans from Bosnia to get over here and watch the games. So it's an extraordinary outlay. And even for someone like myself, I'm doing fine. I'm not doing amazingly. And I love the Croatian national team. I love the Socceroos. It's a big outlay for ordinary people.
No. Look, it's only every 4 years. It's not the end of the world, but look, I'm very excited. I've always said my favorite memory, one of the top 5 memories of my life, is watching Australia versus Croatia with my father. That was one of the top 5 in my whole life. So I hope my son gets something from it. When I went to the World Cup in 2006, this is a jersey from a couple of years ago. Obviously, I've gotten a bit bigger or it's shrunk or something since then. I've got a new jersey for this one. I get a jersey each World Cup. But my one that I went to in 2006, and my dad wouldn't let me buy another one because you've got a perfectly good bloody jersey there. My mother bought some knockoff one for me as a gift before I went to the World Cup. And it had the badge and everything, but it was the Brazil's jersey, and they just swapped the badges out.
I remember Australia always does a little rebadging like that when you get them online.
Yeah. It was just
they print more Brazilian shirts in the world than they do Socceroos ones, so they just change badge.
But here's the problem: is the gold and the yellow of Brazil, because Australia wears gold and the Brazil wear yellow, right? Mm-hmm. It's a slightly different. It's a different hue. It's not the same one. So I went and saw Australia versus Brazil wearing a Brazil jersey with an Australian badge on it because my dad wouldn't let me change it. You're bloody throwing money down there. As I bought him his fucking tickets and flights and all that type of stuff.
With a Colombian hat and Ecuadorian socks. Anyone in yellow.
I'm very excited.
I'm going with my brother. I'm going with me brother.
Let's go. Let's go. I turned to Croatia.
No, to the Croatia game, yeah. So my brother's getting married in July, and
he lives up in Canada, of course.
He lives in Canada. He didn't want to have a bachelor party, so my treat to him as his best man, as I said, I'll take you over we'll just go to this game together. And he's like, oh, it's a bit expensive. And I said, mate, you're about to be married. I'm about to be married. Before you know it, we're in our 40s. We have kids or something. This is it. Like this is the last hurrah to go and do something like this where we're not dads. So. Get into it. Everyone.
Wait, I'm going. I'm a dad. I'm almost 50. Why can't you do it then? You think life's over at 40, do you?
Listen, it depends on your wife. It's more of an indictment on the wife.
I was watching. Okay, so we'll get into predictions in a second, but I was watching the Knicks versus the Spurs. And is there anything better than Okay, so I'm watching like Chris Rock sitting on the sideline there, and then his missus is sitting next to her on the courtside. Those courtside tickets were going for like $36 or something. So I want to spend $1 million for 2 tickets, right, to watch them bloody lose. What is it with women? They don't want to go to sport. They don't want to go to sport. They don't want to go to sport. Oh, the biggest sporting event ever. I want to see it.
I want to see it.
You didn't want to see it all fucking year. Now that the ticket's $250,000, I have to sit next to you when you really just want your friend with you.
Wouldn't it be amazing if a team they just locked out the seats and said, "Nah, we're only giving these to diehards." You have to have attended a certain amount of regular season games.
Right.
Yourself.
Like, you have to be able to answer a few questions, like who plays in the midfield, who's the centre, who's the whatever. There used to be a game when I was a kid.
Spot checks, like the citizenship test, but it's the Knicks test, that they go at the gate, randomly selected. Give me the starting lineup. Who is Patrick Ewing? Pick him out of one of these photos. Just to keep it fair. That's Mum Dani he's already a populist. If Mum Dani said that, woo.
There was a video game when I was a kid called Leisure Suit Larry, and it was the closest we could get to pornography on a computer. Right, that was really.
This is just a guy who the mission was you pick up a girl in a cocktail bar en route. Was that?
Yep, that was the whole thing.
Dirty Sims, basically.
Yeah. Well, the Sims, they just did that as a regular thing. They just went back and humped each other. But Leisure Suit Larry, he used to go in. You'd go in the room. You'd have to find a condom because if you fucked her without a condom, you would just die. That was the whole thing.
It's an 80s game, wasn't it?
Yeah. Your character put his dick in there. He died, and then you have to start the game again. I've made a mistake. Right. So you find the woman in the bar, you take her upstairs, there's a bed, you got to turn on some music to get her in the mood and all that type of stuff. Anyway, to get into the game, Leisure Suit Larry, and there was about 7, but this is the original one. To get into the game, they asked a few questions that only adults could get.
Mm-hmm.
It's like who was the president during the Colombian Missile Crisis or the Cuban Missile Crisis, right?
Yes. Whose eyebrows are these? It's just Brezhnev's.
And you're like this. You're like, oh, Reagan, dunk. Oh no, I've been locked out for an hour.
Yeah. That was like the original. Detect the bikes in each of these photographs.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but it was like, then you always had a mate who was like, I've written down all the answers to all the different questions. I'll get you in there. It'll be okay. So predictions. We have a pool for Australia. We have Australia.
I want to do this for you. Give me the okay. We spoke about this on the phone.
Uh-huh.
Let's go in order of who we want to win, where our heart goes, down a list, at least 5. Okay.
Okay. So this is how I support football. Australia, number 1, Socceroos. That's who I want to have win. Then I go down to, now because I'm a citizen, I got to go for the USA, right? Even though I'd rather England win, but I have to support the USA because this is my home, right? I'd rather England win because I know how much it means to the Brits. It really fucking means something to English people to win the World Cup, right? It's all they care about. And I'm here living in America. Have you seen one car drive down the street with those little flags hanging out the window, USA, the soccer I haven't seen a jersey in LA. We're 4 days out from the World Cup, 3 days out from the World Cup. Have you seen a jersey?
I was just in Miami, so there was a little bit going there. You know, obviously the Latino community is where you want to be if you want to be around any enthusiasm for World Cup in the United States.
American jerseys.
Oh, no, not many American. It's a good one this year, actually. Good kit, the American kit.
Yeah.
Not bad. Waving flag effect.
And they have a good team and all that type of stuff. I
want to wipe them off the fucking park. This is the problem.
I want Australia to kick because all those people, that red-headed cunt who always does the commentary is just like, this is an easy pass. That guy was a fucking nobody in soccer, but he does a commentary. Alexi Laius, that cunt.
Loudmouth fuck.
I want to shut that fucker up completely. This is going to be. This is a layup.
Did you see Schwarzer talking to that guy?
Basketball fucking references, you cunts.
Yeah, at the least they could say is it's an empty net. It's a tap in.
Yeah, it's a tap in. Yeah, it's an open net. It's
open header. Give me something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be. Hey, if we lost to Australia, that'd be a tech foul. It'd be a flagrant loss on our behalf.
Yeah. And now it's in America. We have hydration breaks in the World Cup. They've figured out a way to have timeouts. That's always been the problem with American sports is they can't just let a clock run. They can't do it. It's not in them to let a clock run. They have to, time out, like that, right? And
that being said, have you seen the British people try to adapt thus far? I've been seeing some training camp photos. The Brits might need those breaks on the field.
What, are they a bit fat?
No, just the players. Their faces look completely fucking washed out. And that's why here's a stat for you. In any time there's been a World Cup in North America, a South American team has won every single time. That is their advantage, is they are going to handle the heat and in some cases humidity and altitude down there in Mexico.
So the Australian A-League, our domestic league in Australia, has to play during the summer. Mm-hmm. And we play during the summer because it's competing against AFL and it's competing against rugby league. So they have to play during the summer if they're going to get anybody attending the games. I used to follow the team, the Perth Glory, when I went to university in Perth. I used to go to their games all the time. That was my team in Perth. I never got into the AFL. Yeah, they always had a lot of British fans. They were playing in 45 degrees Celsius with no hydration breaks or anything like that. That was just football in Australia, right? And Forrest, our mate Forrest, went, I don't know why it's soccer. They want to play in the. I've never seen why it's a winter sport. They're wearing shorts, and I'm like, they're fucking running around more than an NFL player. They're not like breaking every 5 seconds and taking a knee and then looking at a plan. They run miles, the midfielders. Anyway, so we'll go Australia, USA, England, although I want England to win more than USA, but I will support the USA. If it was a game USA versus England, I've got to support USA. They gave me the passport. The British people never did. And then I have a bit of a wild one after this. I've got a soft spot for the Dutch.
You and I both, mate. Beautiful football and a country that supports our stand-up. Great crowd.
They've always supported me as a stand-up. I love the orange jersey. Whenever I went to play there, they gave me Feyenoord jerseys, Ajax jerseys. They gave me fucking the national jersey. It's always weird when they give you the jersey because they give you a name on the back, which means you can never wear it. You can never wear. I can't walk down the street with Jefferies on it. It's just one of my 5-year-old who's just been excited that my name was that's me.
I have a rule. I have a rule for support, which would actually rule out the Socceroos if I wasn't an Australian national. If the predominant vibe of men in the country call soccer gay, or call it soccer, I can't support you.
Yeah.
Because it means nothing to your people. So,
well, that's my problem with the Americans. It does mean nothing to
them.
They
call it gay. And I'm like, I grew up playing both sports, Aussie rules and football, soccer, whatever you want to call it. And even in Australia, to be honest, in my childhood, they were like, fucking gay.
Okay,
fucking
so that's Johnny Warren's biography is called, what's his name? His biography was called Sheila's, Wogs and Pufters. That was the name. I'm quoting it here.
That's what Australians, Aussie rules fans would say about anyone who played soccer.
Anyone who played football. Sheila's, that means women. Yeah. Wogs means Italian, Greeks, Croatians, people from European type folk. And Sheila's, Wogs, and Pufters, and we know what Pufters are, right? So I'm only quoting it, but that's the name of that guy's biography, and which is terrible because that's what I want to name my biography.
So this is
now I've got to think of another one.
Why that was the order of that's your favorite people? You go women first.
Yeah. Huh? If I had to fuck something,
you you start with.
I'm gonna fuck all three things, but this is the order.
Where Wog Sheila's is right in the middle. Is it?
Yeah. There. Like you shave them down there a delight.
Yeah, so you do any Anglo women, you'll fuck them straight away. Wogs, just above Pufters, as long as they're not as hairy.
Yeah, just above. So then the Dutch, that's my fourth, and then my fifth team. I never go for a South American team because I always find them a little bit just. I like a bit of German engineering. I go Germany after that. I like them because they win all the time and they do it the right way. They're always a meticulous team and they're good to watch.
All right, so here's mine, and this is always difficult for me because obviously the Socceroos, I'm an Australian citizen. I was born and raised there. but this is number one. Where is my passion? When I'm on my phone and I scroll and the algorithm wants to make me cry late at night and get excited, it does just show me Luka Modric highlights and supercut edits to rap music while we.
That's because those teams, those Croatian teams, have made it into finals.
Because they've been
right?
because they've been more successful.
They've had success, so there's things to watch. Like we were just saying before, I don't know anything about the Australian team. Our top player plays in Feyenoord in Holland, right? We got other players that look like they're going to be something. Our striker plays for Watford in the Championship, so you don't know the players. We've been living in America, so we've had to listen to podcasts. I've had to watch, YouTube clips and whatnot about the different things.
And I'm a dual national.
But so everyone what I'm saying, everyone knows Luka Modric.
Yes, and we know Kovacic, and So we will go Croatia number 2.
Yeah.
Number 3. Now, this is the interesting thing. As a football fan, I'm immersed. I do nothing but, that's why I keep saying good team. I think of Jamie O'Hara, Jason Cundy, Simon Jordan, and everyone at Talk Sport. I listen to nothing but English Premier League coverage as a Spurs fan. So England. I know the England team so intimately. It's all I fucking hear about.
I know the England team more than the Australian team. And also what Lineker and Shearer and all that have a show on Netflix that starts today, which is going to be live each day, which is going to be reviewing the football. I think this is going to be good to have a worldwide stream show on football that everyone can see all the time, that we can all communally see, because every country has their own little tiny thing with. We have a recap of the day, which isn't going to be American-centric. All right, pie lovers, if you want to come and see me, look, you probably listen to the podcast. If you're out for the World Cup, come and see both me and Amos in Vancouver. June 12th, there's an early show that is completely sold, 100% sold. You can only get to the 10 p.m. show at the Queen Elizabeth Theatre. Also, if you're in Seattle, it's a bit out of the town, but it's an easy drive. Tacoma, come and see me June 18th at the Emerald Queen Casino in Tacoma. Coming up besides that, we have Richmond, Virginia on June 25th at the Energy Center, and Tysons, Virginia on the 27th at the Capital One Hall. Then, look, just go to jimjefferies.com, because I am touring Australia for about 6 weeks. If you are in a major Australian city, I'm there. Even if you're not in a major Australian city, I will be there. See you soon, Australia.
And then we've got Deutschland. I've always loved the German national team, which is the enemy of the British team, but also got the German wife.
Can I talk about Deutschland very quickly? Right? My issue with this is, if you want to call your country Deutschland, call it Deutschland. We'll all do it. I hate when countries have two names. People have started saying, so in the first game, Australia versus Turkey. And you're like, we've been calling it Turkey forever. Is it Turkey or is it Turkey? If you want to call it Turkey, I can work with it. I can do it. If you want to call it Deutschland, I'll call it Deutschland. But I've been calling it Germany. So don't have two fucking names. I'm looking at you Dutch Holland people.
What about Wales?
Netherlands?
They're trying to say Cymru.
Oh, fuck the Welsh. Fuck them and their fucking dumbass language. It's like everything's like slightly different if you go telephony. In the end, it's like the telephone was invented after your language. You can call it telephone if that's the name of the fucking product that was brought out.
And then I have to go, which team do I also like? I've got a thing. I love the Dutch too, because they play well.
They never win, and they're beautiful, and they've had wonderful players throughout the decades. Wonderful.
Now, where do you go with Portugal? Because this is Ronaldo's last World Cup. Honestly, he was an embarrassment in the Euros. He did nothing but he faltered for that team, and it's all about him.
He shouldn't be in the team, but I own a Ronaldo kaboom in a PSA 10, so I want him to play well.
Ronnie, but it's like I've got a feeling he's going to be a disaster this World Cup.
Too old, too slow. Like Messi can still play; he'll still be all right, but no, too old, too slow.
Also, big shout outs to global conflict throughout history, just because it does make World Cup games so much more interesting, knowing that there's history between certain nations. It's the one benefit.
It's okay. It's always
like Iran. Honestly, think about how many people are going to be getting behind the Iranian team.
Isn't Iran playing New Zealand or something?
I think so. Well, look, already, the Somalian ref didn't get let in.
Really?
Yeah, so a ref from Somalia didn't get. He's refereeing. I think Somalia's been put onto the banned list. He couldn't get in. He's been terminated from the World Cup. So that might be why you should go for the United States. There's every chance that the greatest defense for America is that Donald Trump may well just investigate with ICE any nation that could beat them.
I'm looking forward to Australia versus USA the most. That's the game I'm most looking forward to. My prediction, I reckon it's going to be a draw. I reckon it's going to be 2-2. We're going to get a couple through. They're not unbeatable. I believe we might lose to Turkey. We're going to draw with America, and we're going to win against Paraguay.
So let's get into some content about the World Cup, and we can move on to some other topics. I want to play you this. I've been watching on Twitter people's reactions to being in the United States. And obviously the Brits have been complaining a lot that it isn't England, as they do when they travel more than anybody. The Germans, there's one man who's going viral because he just seems to be loving it. German fans have found the Waffle House and are talking about the great prices, the amazing hours, and how good the Waffle House food actually is.
Smothered and covered.
Smothered and covered. This is great cuisine. It's potatoes.
Smothered and covered.
So they're reconnecting, but no one is having more fun, it would seem, than the Korean fans who are in Mexico. Jack, have a look at this bloke. There he is. The Korean fans are getting shit-faced on buckets in Mexico.
What is this bucket thing? I've missed something culturally here. I never went to spring break. What is that? You have to stand on your head and drink.
Yeah, you have to stand on your head and drink. And you drink. I've
seen the funnel of booze. I used to do a joke years ago about like when Americans were like, "Hey, you want to play a drinking game?" We have drinking games in Britain and Australia. It's called drinking. Yeah. You drink, and the last one to fall down wins or something.
The game begins when you get behind the wheel.
Yeah.
That's our game. Our game's called Make It Home Without Being Arrested or Killing Somebody. 3, 2, 1, go.
Geez, I think my cock's infected.
You might need a wax, mate.
Oh, God.
I tell you what, though, it would do a good job getting inside. Look at the way that it tickles. Oof. Okay, yeah, so the fans are getting...
the fans today.
I never see that cat do anything with you. The fans getting into it everywhere. When you were in Germany, and you've told this story in the podcast before, but that World Cup, you and your dad would have sunk a few beers and had some sausages. And
we got fucking hammered, and my dad, we'd go to the squares and watch the games. We're not going to go to see 2 games of football. Hank doesn't really understand this yet. I'm like, we're going to be watching about 2-3 games of football every day, mate. We're going up there to watch the World Cup. We might take a break and watch Masters of the Universe in the cinema and Disclosure Day. They're the 2 other things we'll do. The rest of the time, we're going to be watching football and following
Town Square football is massive, and in Australia they were banning it for safety reasons. They're now making it allowed again because you always see those Fed Square videos when the Socceroos score and everyone's jumping up and down in the middle of the night in Australia. Here in New York, where I live, I'm not that far from Madison Square Garden. Big viewing parties there for the Knicks, who are trying to win their first championship since.
Yeah, but the games in Australia aren't on TV at a terrible time, are they?
I think they're at a reasonable time this time, yeah, so you don't get that midnight feel. But let's move to this New York story quickly. They got shut down because President Donald Trump wanted to go and see his Knicks, which cost so many different people, A, tickets because they had to kill seats, Secret Service, B, because he was there, the security was ramped up, and they got rid of viewing parties here in New York. He couldn't be more hated right now.
The watch parties outside the Madison Square Garden were fucking shut down, and also about a quarter of the crowd couldn't get into the game on time because of all the security checks.
2.5 hours.
Just because of one cunt who wanted to go to the game. He's the only sitting president who's ever been to the NFL finals fucking ever. And then the cunt falls asleep.
Yeah.
In the NBA. He falls asleep during the thing. He fell asleep. There's footage of him.
For a moment, yeah. Also, it's shameful on Barack Obama.
This is the problem. Yeah, because why?
I just would have thought the first black president might go to the NBA.
No, he's a huge NBA fan as well, a huge basketball guy.
What was he doing?
He was running he was trying to get Bin Laden.
What, wearing a tan suit?
Yeah, he was fucking
Unbelievable.
Anyway, so old Trumpy goes and he falls asleep, and people are like this. Oh, I can't believe he fell asleep. My dad is 3 years older than Donald Trump, and my dad is like a cat. He 20 minutes.
Yeah.
He's up for a bit, then he's out for a bit, then he's in for a bit. Towards the end of my mother's life, my mother was like this. Movies aren't very good anymore. None of them make sense. Yeah, because you're missing 20 minutes every hour. Of course none of it makes sense. You're missing big plot points.
The only times I saw Donald Trump wake up was when he was eating fries. He was eating a lot of fries. He was either asleep or he was stuffing his mouth. In fact, I thought it was a gamble from Donald Trump because I know he loves to go to the UFC and he gets these huge... He basically enters the UFC like a returning emperor returning to Rome. But even in the UFC, the cheers fell off a little bit with the war in Iran. I think his popularity was down a touch. So I thought, him at MSG, that's not his crowd. This crowd's going to hate him. Have a look at the response when he was on the big screen doing his little salute. But
this is the whole thing. Aren't you meant to put your hand over your heart? Anyway, Carrie, give us the thing. That wasn't the best video of it. That was a bad video. That was just a punter in the audience. You know, we had actual TV footage of him doing it.
Yeah, but I thought that one encapsulated the feel of the mass.
No. Did you watch it? No, he went like this. First of all, you're meant to, hand on heart, take your hat off or whatever. Maybe if he took his wig off, you know what I mean? But he did this. Well, you're not meant to salute. And also, did you know that the guy who sang the song was the bloke who's playing the Scarecrow in The Wiz on Broadway right now? It might have been a reaction to Michael Jackson. So we don't know where the booing came from.
All right, Caroline Levitt.
What did who's Carol? What?
No, she's the press secretary. That sounds like something that she would say. They were not booing the president. They were booing the pedophile supporting singer.
No, I know who she is, but I mean, yeah, okay, so the pedophile singer. Okay.
You know, it just sounds like you're spinning it for Trump. Well, they weren't booing me. They were booing that awful singer. He was so flat. What a terrible guy. He's terribly
now this is the thing. I've never liked that the national anthem gets played before sporting events in America for domestic games because we're all in the same country at the same time. You don't need that. I think it should only be on international games. Like the national anthem matters at the World Cup when you're all staying there. But did you see, so Australia versus Switzerland friendly match, about 100 people showed up in a stadium to watch this in San Diego, right? Mm-hmm. And they did that thing where they go along the lines and they watch all the players, Australians, all that. The camera pans on. Because there was no audience, we could hear them all sing. No, none of them nailed it. No. These were blokes just mumbling their way through. Normally they can't be heard, but yeah.
You know what they should do in America?
What?
I think they should, why not do state anthems?
Almost heaven, West Virginia. If you were in West Virginia and they played Country Roads, or if you're in Colorado and they played the Colorado Rocky Mountain, any John Denver will make me happy. But yeah, I'd be up for that.
It'd be great if every state gets their song instead of, because we don't need the national anthem on that one. Let's go get behind your state in a state versus state thing. You could do some Sinatra there.
Well, also the problem is if you live up in Canada, if you play for the Toronto Raptors, we have to hear two national anthems every time, do we? Every time we've got to hear two of these fucking things.
Yeah, so Donald Trump getting absolutely fucking spat apart there at that one. I wonder if will he go again? Probably not. He's got things to do because an American helicopter, Jim, was shot out of the sky, according to the news that I'm seeing here. And so Donald Trump has said that they're going to swiftly retaliate. So ceasefire and whatever deals they were looking at for a while there.
I like how you went. The American helicopter was shot out of the sky like there was other options.
It could have been shot on the ground.
It was shot in the parking lot of a Tesco's.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going on there. Let's go through other news stories so we can get into some more fun stuff. It would seem that the world is going to overheat or freeze into a new ice age, according to a news story from the New Scientist. The AMOC, apparently the current in the Atlantic that takes warm water from the equator and sends it up north is cooling. In fact, it's rapidly cooling. And if that happens, they're saying there could be an ice age in our lifetimes, which would freeze over places like the UK.
Well, the UK need it because 2 weeks ago they had a heat wave and they were still going on about it. This week it's raining in the UK. Now they're bitching about it. Don't they understand that they have weather? They have weather. They have constant weather in Britain. Is nothing else happening in the UK? They're always talking about the temperature going on. So you're saying
I think the real temperature is probably racial at this point after the near beheading that happened.
We'll get to that soon enough. We can't.
That's the temperature.
And more in the weather. There's been an influx of immigrants up here that are causing, and down here you'll get a slow movement of. No, you can't work that. You can't work that into the weather.
We're detecting on the screen here a real rise in racial temperatures.
So it's going to be
Birmingham, very warm right now.
Yeah,
Northern Ireland, particularly
balmy up there, type of thing. Oh yeah, terrible down there. The wind of change seems to be coming through.
So, no, do you want me to read you what this thing is?
Well, okay. So, what exactly? Because people say we have an ice age. What exactly? Explain treat me like I'm five. What is an ice age?
I know nothing about this. It would have been wonderful to get an intellectual on, but all this is saying is a mysterious cold blob in the Atlantic suggests the AMOC is weak.
Mysterious cold blob. He's off a book or a screen.
This is from the New Scientist. So this is making a lot of people
what
very,
was wrong
very
with
nervous.
the old one? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
A patch of ocean southeast of Greenland is the only place on Earth that is cooling, and it could be a sign that the warm water conveyor belt in the Atlantic is slowing down. It goes on for many pages, of which I don't wish to really read. It seems a little dry in the dual sense.
Yeah,
of the
but so you're saying that everyone in the ice age, so the place is going to ice over, like literally ice is going to cover the place. Everything that lives there will die.
Well, I don't know if everything will die, but certainly sea life will be affected.
I'm going off the movie Ice Age. This is where I'm getting my reference from.
There are going to be extremely cute and adorable animals with
there'll be one animal with a nut that will take up 15 minutes of the movie for no fucking reason. I couldn't stand the Ice Age ones. Those ones when my kids were young, which one of them's still 4, right? Yeah. When my kids were little, and they used to watch the Ice Age movies, I used to find the Ice Age one a painful fucking watch. I was a Toy Story guy. You know, there's a few ones that you enjoy, but... Oh, no. Oh, I'm a big elephant. Oh, it's cold.
The thing about
impersonation.
I
don't do that one enough.
The thing about the collapse of the AMOC is everyone talks about a 4 degrees Celsius temperature drop in Europe. And then it also says...
Fahrenheit or Celsius?
Celsius.
Oh, that is big, yeah.
And then they talk... And that would also mean a 4 degrees Celsius increase in the Gulf of Mexico, now the Gulf of America.
That'd be good.
Or the 3 to 4 times as many hurricanes that the US is going to get as a result of this. But... Boo! It says here also, though, we're monitoring this and have been for a while, but the Trump administration just dismantled a $368 million deep ocean monitoring system that provides critical data on the world's oceans. The decision sparks alarm among experts that the US is taking its eyes off the oceans. So it would seem that America is going, we need to wind back rules on fossil fuels because China's threatening us with our economic superiority. So we want to be energy independent. We'll take Venezuela's oil. We burn more oil. We don't worry about climate change. The temperatures rise. But then also there's these things in the ocean letting us know that it's getting too hot or that the current stopped. Let's just get rid of those fucking detectors. This is the equivalent of taking the batteries out of the smoke detector.
Yeah, which you have to do eventually.
Which is what we're doing.
because that thing will just beep and annoy you. I'd rather burn to death.
So that's where we're at. That's where we're at in the climate change story, is take out batteries from detector and die peacefully in the heat. That's the Trump administration strategy. Is this information is fucking annoying?
Well, I haven't. This hasn't gotten on my radar at all that we're all going to die. Is this been big news?
No, I mean, people have been talking about this forever. I called Forrest. I called Forrest, and he's a marine biologist, and said, "Did you see this story?" He goes, "I've been trying to talk about it to you for years, but you're a goddamn shill for oil companies."
Isn't that funny that he's been trying to talk to you about it for years, and he hasn't even brought it up with me?
You wouldn't understand.
Yeah, he's like, Jeremy, oh fucking Jeremy, he'll fucking start talking about himself, about when he was cold once.
I'm surprised he didn't have a story. At the 2006 final, I was pretty cold with me dad.
I know I talk a lot, but I'm very self-aware. That's one of my good qualities. Do you want to hear about it?
I was very self-aware yesterday.
I said, this is what I'm talking about. Things we watch the news, and the news doesn't, because they've basically all but cured pancreatic cancer. I saw it on the news, and then nothing happened. It was one day. There's a new drug called daraoxyrabin. The daily oral pill targets mutations of the genes that are present in 90% of pancreatic cancer. 70% survival rate. 70%.
From pills.
From pancreatic fucking cancer, we've gone up 70%. And that's just been last week, 2 weeks ago. Hardly made the news. It was, where they put it in the news? At the bit of the news where they used to go, and next up, a story about a dog raising a chicken. Right? When they used to do those fun things, it was like this. Anyway, Trump said this, Trump said this, Trump was booed at the basketball, and we've cured cancer. Good night.
And this shuffling of papers.
Yeah, shuffling of papers.
Yeah. No, we don't. All the big stuff we don't care about. Aliens.
Well, that's what they kept saying. We're going to find out. We're going to find out about aliens. They used to make movies about, like, Medicine Man with Sean Connery, where I found the cure for cancer, and it was going to sort it out. And there's like the big thing, and the world's going to find out I found the cure. It turns out you can find the cure for cancer, and people don't really give a shit.
No, unless it's breast.
Well, pancreatic. We can all get that one. Yeah. Well, yeah. You got to save the breast cancer. Yeah. Have you? Yeah.
You got to have a good front person.
This is going to be a slightly off-color story, but I remember once having sex with a girl, and she was on top, and I was doing the, I was
fondling the norks.
I was having a breast, and I felt a lump mid-sex, and I remember going, oh God, I should tell her about that, maybe. And then I was like this, she probably already knows. But anyway, it ruined the mood. Because I came so quickly.
3 tits.
Tri-titted. You're bad in the tri-tit area. That's what I always hate about America. Whenever I think of America, they go, everyone in the tri-state area is really except the tri-state. Just saying, everyone around the Knicks is excited, not the tri-state area.
So on that topic, actually,
me feeling a lump during sex?
No, on pills, on pills, great pills. I don't like medicine. I'll take it if I'm in hospital, but I'm not. I am one of those people who I try to not.
My wife
bother.
won't take any medicine. She won't take anything unless it helps with beauty. Then she'll pump poisons into her body and not ask questions. Or chocolate. Everything else has to be cleaned with special vinegar.
Half of it is I can't be bothered, to be completely honest with you, a lot of the time. But I have a rotten toe.
I've seen this toe.
And have done for a long time.
I've seen this toe.
What happened was...
This toe is stopping you from getting an elite-looking woman. No offense to you, missus.
My toe...
Hey, Annika, it makes him accessible.
My toe, what happened was I was in Canada once skiing with my brother and his stoner friends up there in this disgusting pit of a house that they were living in. They were working on the mountain. And I was shit at skiing. I crashed. My toe jammed into the boot. And immediately afterwards, blood just filled up the toe. Have you ever had a black toenail? I couldn't, mate. I couldn't walk.
Only when I hit it with a hammer.
Yeah. I could not walk when you got the nail between the toes. You fucking chimp.
Yeah. Well, my father always had a black thumb. Because he's a carpenter, and like when you get one of them, and they take about 6 weeks to heal. When he whack his thumb with a hammer, bang, and then he'd go bang, he'd have one. So
I had that on a toe.
About once a year, my father had a black nail on his thumb.
Yeah, so I had that on the toe, and I had 2 more days of trying to ski before I had to get the fuck out of there, and I couldn't bear it. And then one of the young lads who was a ski instructor / degenerate drug addict came over to me and he goes, "Brah, don't worry about it, man." He goes, "You know what you got to do?" He goes, "You just got to warm up a pin and put it on the nail. And then what it'll do is it'll burn the enamel, and then blood will scoot up there like Mount Vesuvius. Blood will piss everywhere. It'll drain it. And then you'll be absolutely chill to go for a few days. It'll only like be a problem in about a week." I said, "Yeah, man, let's go for it." He takes off his badge, his name tag badge. Yeah. And he burnt the end of it.
He gets the lighter because that's going to make it all good, is it? Yeah, that's going to be all good now.
He puts it on there, full eruption, immediate pressure release. I couldn't believe it.
He stabbed it through the middle of your nail.
You don't even need to stab it, dude. If once you warm it up, you just place it on top, and the heat from the point basically makes it fall down into your nail.
Oh, so this guy was a genius.
No, he told me, he goes, "I've done this myself." About 4 hours later, I see him again from the other side of the party, my hero. He takes off his name tag again, and I'm like, "What's he doing this time?" What he was doing with it this time was cleaning out the tip of a bong.
Oh, he was actually cleaning out the cone, was he?
He was cleaning out the cone. There you go, with his name badge. I thought that's probably not the cleanest way to have a surgery on the run.
Yeah, but he sterilised it with the lighter, mate.
So anyway, within a couple of weeks, this is 2016 or something. My toe was gangrenous green, and ever since then, it's just been like a yuck claw, yellow, weird shape, flaky. And I've tried fungi nail on it, never worked. When I went back this time, I said I might as well show me doctor for the first time. I showed my doctor.
Why don't you show the podcast? Take your shoe off. Show the podcast.
Well, it's actually good now. This is the thing.
We have to get the YouTube viewership up.
Let's see if I can. Now, my toes.
I'm glad you got pants on. That's good. That's a change of events.
Nah. Can you see?
That's not bad. You got a fucking Fred Flintstone. Move your camera to the left. There you go. You've got like half a nail. Why is your toe so long and your nail so short?
No, because you have to the toenail dropped off and it's regrowing.
Your clunky looking fucking Fred Flintstone feet.
I listen. My name was Frodo at school. That was my nickname because everyone said I had the feet of a hobbit.
Oh, yeah.
It was very inventive.
I thought it was because everyone ruled your ring.
I also had a fat friend called Sam. I made do everything for me. I took this new pill called Turbifen. The guy goes, "Yeah, man, it's $30. Take it for 60 days. It'll kill the fungus." I went, I don't know if I can be bothered spending now. Fine. Annika goes, "Just take it." Dude, I've taken it for 60 days. Fungus is gone. Nails growing back. This is like my faith in modern medicine's back.
How did that not make the news over the cancer research?
I'm just saying I'm back. I'm back. I wouldn't even take Nurofen for a while. After the vaccine, I was such a hippie medicine person only.
I'm
returned.
My wife had just been on a flight with our 4-year-old off to England, right? She flies off to England and to go to her friend's wedding. And Charlie didn't sleep the whole time because they were in premium economy. They didn't get business class for a weekend. It's like fucking £10,000 or whatever to go over there now. And it's like, why don't you just give him NyQuil or fucking an antihistamine and knock the little bastard out? And then she says, "I'm not putting that in my child." He's going to have more health effects from fucking staying up the whole time. I'm a big supporter of modern medicine. It's done a lot for us. The people, you don't want to put that shit in your body. What, the stuff that makes me thin, or the stuff that fucking makes me go to sleep, or the stuff that fucking makes me not depressed?
I don't believe I'll never take a sleeping pill. I don't want to take any antidepressants. I don't want to take any of the Ritalin.
I only take sleeping pills when I'm trying to get in and out of time zones.
My faith in modern medicine for the most part, is
zero.
zero.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Carolyn Nugent, my mother, was fucking 1 week from turning 80, and that woman had no right being 80. Fucking, she was held together with modern medicine, and she was on fucking painkillers. She was on all the fun ones as well. She had a wonderful life. My mother sat in a chair for 20 years. I used to think, what a waste, what a waste. And now, as I'm getting older, she watched some telly. She didn't miss a show, Jack. She didn't miss a show. She watched them all. If there was a show to be watched, she fucking watched them. Passing in and out of consciousness, waking up, back on an Oxycontin, falling asleep. It's what I want to do now. That's not what I want to do in retirement.
I know a guy that can get you some Oxy.
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
You can get some of those Appalachian Skittles.
Get rid of all the social media apps. And people go, what happened to Jim Jefferies? He's rolling around in his own filth. Loving it.
Well, let's go from that actually to some products that do need the FDA to step in there.
I want to mention a product. I wanted to do a segment on the podcast just quickly, and this is going to tie into what I want to do. A thing on the podcast every time I have a stupid question I want to ask myself that I go to the internet to ask. I want to save them up and ask you on the podcast to see if you remember things.
Because I'm a super intelligence. I appreciate
It's not. I don't know about that, but it's like okay. Do you remember a bar of soap in Australia called Solvol?
Solvol? Yeah, I use Solvol after every football game. My dad said, you don't get to use the nice soap because we have to have that. You've been playing football, you'll rub Solvol, which is, as far as I'm concerned, was asbestos in a bar.
Okay, first of all, does Solvo still exist? If people don't know what Solvo is, it seems to be soap with minute rocks through it. Or broken glass.
Solvol. It's for tradies to get grime off their hands.
Father, when you work on a car, if you want to get the grease off and all that type of stuff, it exfoliated and stuff. But it's a grey bar of soap that has chunks in it that will just rip your skin off.
Hold on. This is just giving me memories here. Okay. Is this weird? Did every family do this? So
my parents use the Solvo.
My parents were obviously divorced. So I had dad's house, mum's house. Now, when I was at dad's house, we had one shower, obviously, and there was no.
And you all took it at the same time. There it is. There it is. There's Solvo. It's an aggressive. It
looks like a flint.
Yeah, and it came it's a heavy duty hand cleanser, but it would exfoliate.
I remember using that in the shower.
You could use it to shave. No razor.
I remember
straight off
showering after a football game as a kid. And rubbing that on my dirty knees and blood and dirt just hitting the floor of the shower and being like, I don't want to use this, Dad.
Here we go. When did this happen? Okay. Iconic Aussie soap Solvo has been discontinued after 105 years. Did I just call this?
Yeah, because kids today are pussies. They can't handle Solvo and their precious little skin.
In February of 2022, they got rid of Solvo. Here we go. Let's watch a commercial for Solvo. For Solvo from. Hold on.
Busy hands need Solvol.
Yes, busy hands need Solvol because only Solvol gets hands really clean. So
get busy hands, clean as a whistle with Solvol. After work and after play,
clean busy hands the Solvol way you solve.
Okay, when did we get rid of that voice? Yes, busy hands have to have Solvo. That was an advertising rhythm of speech, right? That
Mom's depressed. She can't be doing dishes all the time. She needs detergent.
Look at these kids. They're happier than ever. Oh, off they go. Off on an adventure with their uncle who never had kids. You know what I mean? Like, it was always a weird bump to it. But
Solvo, as far as I remember,
I can't believe it's gone.
The premise of it was you're only dirty because dirt's on your skin, so just remove your skin.
Yeah. That was it. But it was for like it was for like people who've been down mines. I bet you there's an old bloke in Australia who has fucking stockpiled the shit out of Solvo. Like he hasn't, when they found out it's being discontinued in 2022, not on my watch. Yeah. Not on my watch.
There's always a candy bar that they bring back, like bring back a polywaffle. We should do a bring back Solvo.
Bring back Solvo. Everyone write to us and see if you've still got Solvol at home, because I remember that it was like, oh, use it. And there was an advert that was like, should I use some soap? Use the Solvol, Jeffrey. And the advert said Jeffrey. And I remember my mum used to yell at me, use the Solvol, Jeffrey. Like that. It was one of the reasons I hated my name.
So here's my thing to you.
Yes.
Did this happen in your family household as well? This bottled body wash business of the modern world didn't exist.
I remember when it came in. I remember when it came in and we were like, what's going on here? We're having a liquid soap.
So we're a lower middle class family and we're a single dad and 2 kids, right? We had Imperial leather soap and a Solvol. And we just apparently used it. My dad would use it. So the shower would go, Dad, me, then my little brother. And I always look back at it now. My dad's got a soap bar that he's obviously washing his balls with. It's got his hairs all over it. And then I'm grabbing that and doing my underarms. What the fuck was that about?
You're making me have fun. I had a difficult girlfriend once who was like, everything was like, oh, I've got OCD, so I have to have blah, 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 blah. And she needed Irish Jew, I'm Jew, D-U-E, right? Not Irish.
What's the price of these potatoes?
They're still selling it.
Here we go. Was Solvol back?
Get somewhere in Australia.
Yeah, I'll bring some Solvol back for you, Jack. This will be a game changer. This will put more calluses on your fingers than playing guitar. Oh no, you can't wash your genitals with Solvol. You'll look down, there'll just be testicles without a sack.
Sorry, I need you to go back to the Irish Jew. Clipping coins at the bottom of the rainbow.
Something Irish Jew or Irish Mist or something. There was some soap that she would only have. If she came over to my house, we had to have this particular soap, or she wasn't going to be. She'd freak out. I got to go home because this is the soap I'm comfortable with. Anyway, I just had a flashback to that. And do you remember when the liquid soap first came out?
Did you share soap as a family?
Yeah. Now you have the squeezy bottle that you pick up and you squeeze like that. For a while they had the one that hooked onto the top of the shower head that went downwards, that you just went boom and then it just squirted downwards. That was the good stuff.
I remember. So this is how my dad used to have to do showering. This is fucked up now that I think about it. But when I was under.
Do you have any memories as a child showering with either of your parents?
Yeah, 100%. So many. So first of all,
vague. I have ones showering with my eldest brother. Like he had to shower me or something once when I was like 4 and he was like 12 or something. You got to go like that. It's always awkward.
I went in with my dad once because Dad used to start the shower early. Okay, so this is how I remember waking up. As I'm going to say, from the age of 7 to 12, I would wake up to the sound of my dad, who would always be quitting cigarettes, but never really fully got off them. So I'd wake up in the morning when he was quitting cigarettes to this. Because he's in the shower with tar coming off his lungs.
I thought because he was sucking Uncle Barry's cock. We called him Uncle. He wasn't our real uncle, but he was always over at the house.
Right? Then you'd hear the shower come on, and then it would go for a while, and then he'd go, Amos! Amos! For some reason, he wouldn't turn the shower off. We had to tag in there like a relay race, and then I'd go past Dad. He'd be getting into a tower, and then I had to get in. And you know when you first see your dad when you're like 7, and it's just the hairiest, biggest cock you've ever seen in your life.
Oh, yeah.
And to this day, every time I see myself naked, I'm like, where's my big fucking dad cock? What happened to me?
Well, little kids, because my 4-year-old, when he was 3 or something, he said, Mummy, Dad has a big penis, right? He walked past me in the thing, and I'm like, don't bloody be telling. Actually, you can tell people.
And then I remember the first time that Dad goes, you're up. And I said, yeah, turn the shower off and you come out like you freak. And that's when my dad was like, all right.
Oh, a bit too much.
Someone's got a pube. Someone's having a wank.
Someone's got a bit too much of his mum in her. Fucking too fancy to tag team. So every morning, this is my life, right? When I was a kid, right? My brother would wake me up by grabbing me by the shirt and going, kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. Like, so your whole body was whiplashing around. That's how you would start the day, right?
Sounds like Hell Week. Yeah.
Yeah. That's how my brother would do it. Yeah, he would walk in and kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. Or the other brother would come in the winter and just whip your doona off you. Boom. So you're just there in the cold, just laying on top of the bed, just because there was no heating in the house. Then you would get in the shower and then you would have to wait, because I would do this to my brothers as well. Did you ever do this with your brother where you get You'd go off to the sink, you'd finish brushing your teeth, then you'd get a cup of water that had the toothbrushes in them. You'd fill that up and then dump it over the top of the shower to give them a cold little thing so they'd scream.
No.
Oh,
You and your
weekly.
brothers.
Weekly. This was an all the time thing. This wasn't a casual thing. You get the water, you go over the top of the curtain, you pour it, they scream. They're not going to chase after you. They're all wet and slippery. You're out of the room before there's a problem.
Geez, you and your brothers.
It was war.
It was like your family stories remind me of what my friends who went to boarding school talk about.
I watched Malcolm in the Middle like it's a documentary. It was a real, yeah, we were always like, I told you about the toilet door, right? How I figured out with my brother. Yeah, smashed it into his knee. One time I dropped a dumbbell on my brother's stomach while he was sleeping.
Yeah, they always go. Mine are like, oh, I had to see my dad's penis, and yours are like, yeah, my brothers tried to kill me, but it was all, but it was all a laugh.
I remember. Okay, so what was your first ever cologne?
My first cologne was.
Let's age you by your fragrance.
I gotta say it was probably either Brute or Dupe. I'm gonna say Dupe.
Mine was Paco Rabanne Jazz.
Actually, David Beckham.
Oh,
DB.
Yeah, now I'd already had some. I already had some links and all that type of stuff, but some jazz, right? And my brother had Draca Noir, right, which was a big one. And I remember one time Scott, who was 2 years younger than Danny, so Scott would have been 14, and Danny was 16. He had his Draca Noir, and Scott had sprayed some on himself. But you know, when you're a little fella, like Hank and his mates were all hanging out at a barbecue the other day. We walked into the room and it fucking stank because one of the kids had cologne and they'd all given it a go, and they think you have to go. You don't think you just go 2 squirts and move on with your day, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Scott had obviously put on too much Draca Noir, right? And Danny walked in the room, and it was like out of a movie. He walked in the room, sniffed, walked up to Scott and punched him. There was no conversation. Have you touched my perfume?
Guilty. Okay, let's get into this.
David Beckham. What did that smell like?
The David Beck. Well, it smelled like 2003. That's what it smelled like. A time when David Beckham had a mohawk, and
a faux hawk.
A faux hawk, and he'd just moved. I got given it by an auntie. This is all coming back to me now. She gave it to me for Christmas, and simply because I remember I was the only one on the Aussie side of the family that liked football, soccer, and played it myself. And she went, "Here you go. This is those metrosexuals that play soccer are all wearing this. We thought of you when we saw it." That Metro David Beckham.
Did they give you the perfume gift box, which would have the cologne when you're a kid, the cologne,
and then post-shaving cream, and the joke would always be
post-shaving cream, and then a stick of deodorant.
Yes,
and then you'd have it in the box because that's what made it an actual Christmas gift, is because you could wrap it up and it was a sizable present.
Right, I want to do this story with you. I want to get your thoughts on this.
I feel like we've been talking about pretty important stuff. I feel like Solvol has been the topic of the night.
Here is the new product from Crumble. Crumble are these cookies.
Crumbles. If you check the ingredients on Crumble, they are Satan. Me and the kids had them a few times. They're nice enough cookies. They're no Mrs. Fields, but they've got too many ingredients for a cookie. You should only have like 6-7 ingredients, and it's like fucking tons of shit in there. They're really bad for your Crumble, unless they want to advertise them on the podcast.
What I find interesting is this new craze, and you independently brought this up to me at the same time this is happening, and I'll piece this all together and I'll show you how. So Crumble has a new beverage, which people are saying, at this point, I know we have freedom in the United States, but maybe the government needs to intervene at some point. Yes. 186 grams of sugar, the equivalent of eating 19 Krispy Kreme donuts in one drink.
Just to put that in context, I believe there's 17 grams of sugar in a Coca-Cola.
I don't know how many it is, but 186 is in Crumble.
I might be wrong, but 186 sounds like a lot.
So I said to Annika, it's absurd. So I said to Annika,
you'd rather do 1 gram of cocaine would be healthier for you.
No doubt. I said to Annika, "Oh, you seen this thing?" And you got a dirty Dr. Pepper from McDonald's.
Yeah.
These are coming out, okay, which is these sweet foams on top of already sweet drinks.
It makes,
And
it, it makes it a 300 calorie over a 170 calorie.
Annika said to me, "Oh yeah, that's all because of that's super popular now because of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives." And I went, "What do you mean?" And she said, "Well, in the Mormon community, they don't drink alcohol, so they've got this big thing that's been happening on that TV show and in the Mormon community and a lot of shops in Utah is it's a race to get the most sugary drinks you can possibly get because they're not allowed to have booze." So I did some research on this, and I read a really interesting story that said that Mormonism and Utah has a lot of similar tendencies to Muslims in the Middle Eastern countries who also, because they can't drink, are purveyors of really full-on sweets. Think your Turkish delights, your baklavas. They have a lot of very fragrant.
When I gave up drinking, my soda intake picked up because I was like, I'm not drinking booze. I'm allowed to have this. Yeah, so there's that mentality, of course.
So I was reading this. It says a dirty soda is a customized, highly caffeinated and sugary beverage made by a mixture of base soda with flavored syrups, fruit purees, and splashes of cream. Originating in Utah's Mormon community, it serves as an alternative to, I didn't know this, they're not to have alcohol, coffee, and tea is prohibited in the Mormon world. Did you know that?
No wonder they're all psychos. They've got no vices. Have you been following Reckless Ben in the Lego? You got to watch that documentary.
I haven't seen that yet.
Okay, watch it, and then we'll talk about it on the next podcast.
Yeah, so
the corrupt Utah cops are insane. Have you watched it? Okay, it's worth watching on YouTube. Reckless Ben and Bricks and Minifigs. It's worth watching. They're all going to shut down because they're being brought down at the moment. People are fucking losing their minds. They're cunts.
This is that store.
Store stole $200,000 worth of Lego, and it turns out the guy was high up in the Utah church, and so therefore he had cops just harass this guy and pull him over and say that he had heroin on it. Just watch it. We'll talk about it afterwards.
Okay. So to finish on this is the rise of the soda bars. So once McDonald's is on it, the trend's everywhere. I noticed it also in Starbucks. They're doing a lot of these sweet foam toppings and these refresher drinks that are full of chopped up fruit and whatnot. But the calories are out of this fucking world.
Yeah. No, you can't do it every day. It's an every third day.
And anyone who's seen me do stand-up, I do that bit where I say, if you want health care, you have to care about your health. This is the world that I see coming. What do you think of this? When you see that some of your neighbors are having a drink that is 900 calories, okay, and rotting out their teeth and making them more.
And you only should have 2,000 calories a day as a man, 1,500 as a woman.
Yeah. So this is the world I think that is coming with tech. Is let's say everyone gets given healthcare by the state, but from now on, all your food consumption is tracked by a government mandated Fitbit, and they essentially you have your calorie. 2,000 a day, and if you go over that, you start to pay a premium on your healthcare. It's like
it's not. Look, honestly, I know you're trying to do a bit.
But this is what I'm saying. You think is necessary?
I just did a movie, and I had to do the health insurance on the movie. Those health insurance checks are ridiculous because have you ever had a surgery? Have you ever taken? And you go, what medicine do you take? And you're like, finasteride for my hair. Oh, we can't insure you. So you have to go on movie.
Really?
Sets. Yeah, you
okay,
have to
so let's play like this, right?
You have to go on movie set. Like I said, I had a kidney stone, and they're like, can't insure him. And so I just went, I never had one. I'm just lying. Because it's this thing. So insurance on movies and on sets is bullshit because everyone has to lie to get onto the fucking movie. And then when they do the movie, if you get sick, then the insurance company went, oh, you were lying. So it's a mob. You're just paying people off so that you can get a certificate and move on with your fucking day, right? Because they won't insure anyone because no one's in perfect health. Anyway, carry on.
Well, except for the president.
Yes. Oh, yes. Perfect health. He's 150 pounds, I've been told.
He's at 6'4", 150 pounds. If you started with base level, so we have to say you can't have family genetics come into this. That's where it will end up. In the end, they'll have everyone's DNA and they'll go, your price range is here because your family dies of cancer more often. But let's say it starts at base rate and you can only be penalized due to your behavior. And every vice that you have adds another $500 base layer points, right?
Well,
what would you think of this as of a healthcare system?
Right.
So it would be like if your diet is per year means you're a fat cunt and you're eating too many sugars, it's an extra $500 premium. What else would you say would give premiums up?
Well, my mother, her favourite snack every afternoon when no one was in the house, and sometimes when people were just in the house, was fairy bread. That was her afternoon snack. Now, if you don't know what fairy bread is, do you know what fairy bread is, Jack? Fairy bread is you get white bread, you cover it in butter. You have to have so much butter on there that you can sprinkle hundreds and thousands on top of it and it will stick to the butter. And she used to have that. So you mix that with her Oxycontin addiction, fucking, she would have had to pay a hell of a premium. Hell of a fucking premium. So
do you know what I used to call that? That was my little bit when I was about 14. I used to call it gay braille.
Gay braille. Oh, gay braille, because you had to feel your thing. Okay, very funny.
That's my little. That was one of my first little bits as a kid. So these foods that are taking root in the United States, which anyone who's coming over here to visit will know, it is, and people have said this about America forever. It is hard to say how you can get nationwide insurance and let people eat that. When will we get the pictures of people's rotted out teeth and fat love handles?
Yeah. You have to do what they did with cigarettes because I watched a person smoke in Australia the other day. Now they have it's killing you on the filter. So as you're drawing it, so you used to be able to cover the boxes up. I used to do a joke years ago. I got a child. He's a model, mostly cigarette packets, right?
Yeah,
you know, because they're baby, right? So they have dead babies. They have rotted out lungs. And I always used to think with the smoking. Every smoker worries about their lungs. Every smoker goes, don't show me the teeth because that's something you can cosmetically get changed. Don't worry about the throat cancer because whatever. Tell me the lung cancer. Lung cancer. Don't give me the cunt who's lost the foot. The picture of the person who's lost the foot. I'm yet to meet a fucking, where did you lose your foot? Smoking. I just don't meet the foot lost smoker. Never met one.
I'd rather, honestly, what do you think's better for you? One of those new Crumble 900 cal drinks or one cigarette? Cigarette.
A cigarette's better for you than that. Yeah, a cigarette will hurt you less than that. If you have one of them a day versus one cigarette a day, you will live longer on one cigarette a day.
Maybe that's the way you measure it. Instead of a health rating, it's how many cigarettes worth. Because everyone sees cigarettes as the devil. So you go, this McDonald's meal is the equivalent of having 5 cigarettes. Cigarettes is universally understood as a guide to cancer.
When I first started doing comedy, I'm sure a million comics have done a similar version of this, is that you have warning signs on cigarette things, but they don't have warning on beer cans. They should have things like warning, may wake up with an ugly woman.
Yeah, may fuck this chick. Yeah,
exactly. We've all done the joke, right?
Of course. Yeah.
So, they should do that with food to a certain extent. I would like to have on some sugary cereal just because you do lose your foot to diabetes. Why are they putting that on the cigarette packets? The foot being shut off should be on the Coca-Cola. Unless they're a sponsor of this podcast, then Coke is it.
Who are our sponsors? We don't have any sponsors at the moment. We can tell.
Well, I'm just looking over. Jack's wearing a Coca-Cola hat, and I'm a big fan of Coca-Cola.
Well, Coca-Cola's better for you than this fucking shit.
Coca-Cola's the best. It gives so much, asks so little.
I'm gonna tie it on with this to end us out here. Coca-Cola, all these other companies come up, and nothing annoys me more. I don't know how you feel about them, but these monstrosities like the Crumble 900 cal drink. Another one that I hate is any of these milkshakes with a fucking donut on top of it and fairy floss. And
no, Instagrammable foods. Instagrammable food. Okay, so let's start simple here. When I was a kid, a cupcake had a fucking bit of icing on the top. It wasn't piped on in a spiral up like this. Icing wasn't this thick. Icing wasn't as thick as the cupcake. And now people are like, well, what you do is you rip the bottom off and you make a cupcake. You're not meant to have that much fucking icing. Settle down.
Well, this is the case with everything, though. And all food that is being consumed digitally ends up having to outperform because, just like the pornographic effect, once you see one thing and go, wow, that looks like a lot. Wow, that looks like a very Moorish dish. It has to get more and more silly. And we've got to the point now where you're like, this is just, no one's thinking about flavor in this anymore. This is just obnoxious.
But it's awful. It's a savory food as well. Now they're like, and we're going to dip the hamburger in cheese and then we're going to cut it and the cheese is going to melt all over the plate. And then we
put it into a pizza and we refry it. Then we turn it into an empanada.
It all should have stopped when the Scots deep fried a Mars bar. We should have gone, all right, we'll call it a day.
That was the canary. The canary in the coal mine.
Bloody good at deep fried Mars bar. There's nothing shabby about it. I tried doing it at Christmas once in the house. I couldn't get the batter right.
That's with all foods, dude. So I remember we always talk about how Christmas dinner and Thanksgiving, it's like you have roast dinner. That was once special. That was once that's why it was a Christmas meal. It was like, wow, this is like Christmas pud, Christmas lunch. These are like special meals. And we're so spoilt for food now where we can order anything at all times that food has gotten out of fucking control. Very few people just have a basic run-of-the-mill standard dinner anymore.
Oh, no. Things that
spaghetti bolognese 5 days a week.
Yeah, things that we used to see on TV as eating challenges of now. I once won Thanksgiving. There was a pie. It was pretty good. It was like, you know, the turducken, like the turkey inside the duck, inside of this, inside of that. By the way, we're going to Mott 32, and I pre-ordered the duck. We're on the Sunday after in Vancouver. On the Sunday after the game, we have the duck. It's coming. It's happening. But I ordered this cake for dessert. The base of it was a pecan pie. Mm-hmm. Right, the base of it was a full pecan pie.
That was the crust. That was the crust.
Yeah. Then you had a pumpkin pie on top of the thing, and it was all encased in a red velvet cake around it, and then you just cut into it, and it had its.
I've been trying to have this conversation with the wrong man.
It was pretty good.
You glutton.
Well, it was Thanksgiving, and I wanted to be thankful for America and everything. You know what?
I'm going to be thankful to woken up the next day without.
I'm going to be in Australia on the 4th of July, and Hank was like this: "We're going to be in Australia for the 4th of July. How are we going to celebrate it? We're not, son. We're just gonna. It's going to be a regular day. We're going to be walking around. No fire. We can have a barbecue if you want.
Australian pubs will do what they always do. Like on Super Bowl, you'll be able to have a bucket of Budweisers and a bowl of wings, and they'll call it the 4th of July Independence Day special, and it'll be about $150, and they'll put reruns of some American sports on the screen.
See, this is the thing. When I was young, these things didn't happen. We didn't even acknowledge it. You grew up in a different generation where we got a bit Americanized. It's like I couldn't believe when I was there for the Super Bowl the amount of Australians that were showing up wearing their jerseys in the morning.
Don't even get me fucking started, mate. NBA, NFL everywhere, but it's not just that. It's the Australian burger that died out for the smash patty American style. You know, the old fucking fish and chip shop burger.
Where's the beetroot?
Went out. So I want to end on a couple of topics before we leave.
Also, with the Australian Socceroos, they brought out NFL versions of these jerseys. No bueno.
No bueno. Why would we want to celebrate competing against the United States in the United States while wearing a United States style jersey? Fucking stupid. Get rid of them.
I sent it to you, and you were an instant
Yankee shite.
No. And like you respond about what I'm like your missus. I just send stuff to you now. I just send stuff to you knowing that you won't respond.
I call. I'm a caller.
Yeah, you're a caller. I just send you links and stuff like that. That's how we communicate. I've seen this. Yeah, I've seen this. And then we don't respond to each other. What about this? I've looked at that. Right? And then I sent you that jersey. That was the fastest response I've ever had from you. No.
Seppo shit.
To the Americans, they don't know what Seppo means. It's short for septic tank. It's rhyming slang for yank. Because you're called Yanks, Yankee Doodle Dandies and that type of stuff, right?
And a septic tank because you're full of shit.
Yeah, because you're full of shit. So if we call you a Seppo, it's short for septic tank, so shit tank. So when he says Seppo, that's what he means to Americans. Well, that's brutal. Oh, that's so toxic.
To say it right here in
that's
our
toxic.
country,
You're really mean. I would say something, but we're not having a roast this week.
I'm going to save up how I feel about you for 5 years and then get it out and vent it all out at a roast.
Yeah, and say the N-word just so I can get it out.
I need in my culture to have everyone sign a contract that it's all okay to be mean to each other. That's how my culture
septic tanks.
Septic tanks. All right, mates, I'm on the road as well in the States. Scranton, Pennsylvania, June 28th. Philadelphia, July 2nd, kick off America's birthday at the home of Liberty with my show that evening. And then I'm going to Europe, to Macedonia, to Ohrid, Skopje, Istanbul, Turkey, and Athens. All those tickets available. But please, I'm doing my first ever big theatre in Vancouver. If you like the taster of me opening for Jim, I have my own new different hour that I'd love for you to come and see. Calgary. Tickets have also been added there, and then I'm going to add as many Canadian tour dates as I can, so you don't have to keep messaging me. What about Edmonton? Actually, it's not like that. It's more like, how would it go, Jim?
I'd like to go to Edmonton because that's where I live, you know. And I know the cactus. We're going to eat so much food at the Cactus Club while we're in Canada. We're going to be there every day. It's going to make Hank a man, all the staff there.
It's going to be unbelievable. So more Canadian dates to follow. Go to amosgill.com. My overwhelming feeling about Florida is not high at the moment. I've been in the gigs were good. Thank you to everyone who came out to see me in Fort Lauderdale.
He's had an incident in Florida and he's upset about the whole fucking thing. And that's why he cut it short, because he's still upset. He's still upset. Talk us through it.
First of all,
yeah.
Everything. If you want to go to a beach resort there, be prepared to be fisted at every turn.
Right.
First of all, car parking over there.
Don't sell it to me.
The car parking situation, just a fucking nightmare.
If you want to Uber? Why are you driving around? What are you driving around for?
Good question, Jim. I was obviously going away to do a work trip, but because
where you wouldn't need a driver for that, you would just.
Well, the club would pick you up and take you to the hotel, and then you would
quickly, Jack. An hour and a half before the game, we'd like to get there. There we go.
So, I'm just going there to work. But my missus says, I want to get out of New York. I want to make a trip of it. I said, listen, it's a work trip. I'm there to make money, not spend money. Okay. And she goes, I don't want to stay at the hotel that the clubs provide, but I'll pay, she says. We'll go over to a beach resort. I said, listen, I don't need it. She goes, I'm going to get a car as well. I said, I don't need a fucking car. She says, don't worry. I'll take care of it all. So obviously, as soon as you get there, you can't just focus. You can't say you go down to the beach to the missus. Obviously, you have to do things together. That's why I went to the nice restaurant Joe's because she was there. So go and have an expensive.
And the food was good. I'm gonna go to Miami soon. And the food was good.
Food at Joe's is elite. Great stone crab, great steaks. Couldn't say hi to Nico, my man there, the Croatian waiter. But then one night we park the car. Okay, and the valet, every night the valet was $80. I'm already going, I don't need a fucking car. $180. $80 the valet overnight. Insane.
Yeah.
My blood, you've got this in you as well.
I used to pay rent for a week for that.
I don't like to be fucking ripped off.
No.
I shouldn't be even staying in one of these hotels. I'm here for work. I should be staying at a shit fucking, you know what I should be at? The Doubletree at best. What I should be at is a fucking Cambria or a La Quinta.
You get a cookie. You get a cookie.
Where I'm focusing on the work. The next morning, I park the car in one of these American-style strip malls, and we eat a Cuban breakfast. And and she says, let's just leave the car here and go across to the beach for a few hours.
What is that, like a cigar and a hot dog bun?
It was, yeah. I had a croquette and some guava-type pastry.
I love a croquette. Love a croquette.
Love a
good
croquette.
one. Chicken croquette?
Mate, ham. Came back from the beach.
Do you remember those smelly croquettes we had in Europe?
No.
Remember that we were in Belgium or somewhere like that. We went and had lunch and we ordered the shrimp croquettes in that little fucking thing and they just stank so much. We cut into them and we went, can't eat it.
Oh, yeah, I do. That sounds like a racial slur against some Hispanic group, the smelly croquettes.
But it was, and they go, you didn't like the things? Well, no, that was not a good thing.
That was not a good thing. Come back from the beach. Our car isn't there. And we're looking around everywhere.
It some Cuban has stolen it, or is it some like American hustler has taken it away? What's happened?
Well, Annika's like, oh my God, where's the car? I go, no, we didn't park. Maybe we parked it further that way. So we walked down that way. And she goes, no, you definitely parked it here because you said, I distinctly remember you saying, who the fuck would eat a Burger King when you can get the Cuban food from here? I go, you are right. I do remember saying that. There's some pretentious shit that I would say. And then I'm like, oh my God, our car's been fucking stolen. So she's trying to find the police number. I just have a moment where I go, hold on. This is a car park lot for 50 businesses. Maybe we got towed. So I call up who I can find owns the car park center. I said, excuse me, we can't seem to find our car. We're worried it's been stolen. And she said, how long did you park there? I go, about 3 or 4 hours. We ate at the Cuban restaurant, then we went for a swim. She goes, well, sir, you went for a swim, you left the premises, so you've been towed. Then I said, what do you mean we've been towed? There's no signs anywhere that say that. She goes, according to Florida state law, there is one sign at the entrance, which is of the legal font. So obviously this happens all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Tiny little font that says, must be customer
Which is
to park
of
here.
the legal font.
Of the already cunt phrase.
Yeah. As that, it seems really smart. It's of the legal font, sir.
It's of the legal font. Okay.
Yeah.
One tiny little phrase there. I go, so you're telling me you've taken my car? Annika's next to me. She's like, calm down. I said, what? Why would you? You've towed my fucking vehicle, have you? She goes, yes, sir. Well, it's our private property, and you have absolutely no right to go for a swim on our dime. Then that's when I go into. And I know you've had many of these where you think, if you could get back the audio of me on this phone call, I say things.
There is some audio of me that would be career-ending where I've gone fucking ballistic on customer service.
Can I tell you where I started? I'll tell you where I started. This was insane. I said to the lady, are you a Christian?
Oh, no.
And she says, what's that got to do with anything? I said, are you a Christian person? She goes, yes. I go, is this the behavior of one Christian to another Christian? Would you tow the car?
One to others as one would have towed.
Towed to themselves.
Yeah.
She says, sir, you tried to steal from us by taking our car park. I go, the thing's empty. It's completely empty. I ate a meal at one of the restaurants. You can't just tow someone's car. How about just a parking ticket? How about a parking ticket? It gives us an opportunity. Oh, fuck, we were there for too long. I'll pay $50. But to tow the car, in Australia, to get your car towed, it would have to be there for at least 2 days, blocking up valuable space.
Yeah, the Australians would give you a ticket if you sneezed, but they wouldn't tow it, yeah.
They wouldn't tow it yet. So they go, do you want the number of dolphin tow or not?
Oh, dolphin tow. Why the fuck are you trying to make the company sound fucking fun? Like, just call it what it is. Ass fucking towing company.
Like, the audacity to try and jazz up the business of towing people's cars away.
Yeah, okay. So dolphin tow.
Oh, so I call that dolphin tow. Dolphin tow. The guy who answers the phone, they're already as defensive as it comes. So he goes, dolphin tow, what can I do for you? I said, mate, did you just tow a car today? A rental car, a Hyundai? He goes, the Tucson? I say, yeah, the Tucson. He goes, yep, we did. And let me guess, you were getting lunch and you just went away for about 15 or 20 minutes? We heard it all before. Now, I didn't ask this man if he was a Christian. I said this, mate, you tow people, bottom of the fucking barrel, scum of the earth. Scum of the earth. People in prison for violent crimes I have more respect for than people tow drivers. Literal bottom-feeding trash wandering around stealing people's cars. What on earth gives you the right to come in there and just take a car? The car's been here for 3 hours. You're a fucking scumbag, mate.
Yeah, they're bottom feeders. They're
bottom
terrible.
feeders.
Until I got the car back.
Then I said to him, I think I would respect you more if you were a fucking pedophile.
Yeah.
You know what he does? He literally goes, he's obviously laughing. He says to people in the shop, yo, this guy says he would rather if we were pedophiles. When I hear it back to my own ears, I'm like, it's fucking absurd for me. Now I'm essentially saying that I'm more pro-pedophile than tow truck driver.
Well, but with the pedophilia, you can block it out over the years. I don't know. The tow thing, you'll always remember.
What did you say to me? Do you remember what you said about the pedophiles?
What did I say?
You said, at least pedophiles, for the most part, 90% of the time, something horrible happened to them in their youth, and that's why they've got this disorder. It's not like this kid was got his car towed as a child, and now he's decided to do it to others.
History repeats himself. I came back to the spot. It wasn't there. I guess I deserved it. I wasn't a great kid. I didn't have good grades.
My dad must have been in the car that got towed away because he wasn't around either. So I said, I'll tow other people because it's normal. And we go in there And this is the bit where the weakness on my
Don't
behalf.
clip up the pedophile bit, Jack. He's already typing it. He's all over it. He loves that. He loves that. He wants my career to end so he can move on with his life.
What do you reckon they charge you to get your car back?
What's
What
that?
do you reckon? Now I was braced for $2,000.
Yeah, I don't. $700.
So the guy, after I've called him a pedophile and he's laughing at my rage, he goes, "Do you just want to know where you can get the car or not? Okay, you can call me all the names in the sun. Hey, go on our Yelp. You're not alone."
It must make you bulletproof though, having that job.
1.5 dolphin toe on Yelp. He goes, "Do you want to know where to get it or not?" So he gives me the address.
Who's reviewing a tow company on Yelp? Because this is the thing: is like I've been illegally parked before and had a much better experience.
Well, I mean, I hate these cunts with everything inside me, but $210 it was. And that's where, when it was $210, I said, a ticket would be cheaper for you guys. The fuel it must take to pick up the car, take the car back, drag it along, it's hardly fucking worthwhile. Then I'm looking up the Yelp reviews. You know what the Yelp reviews say? Which is just so funny. The Yelp reviews go, "Yeah, the owner of the tow truck company also owns the parking lot. It's a massive conspiracy, and I've gone to the council about it many times." Wait for this one. "The kids that work at Burger King are paid spotter fees, and that anytime someone leaves their car on the premises, the kids at Burger King will usually tip off the tow company and they get kickbacks." It's like, now I'm involved in Miami-Dade County conspiracy Facebook pages about the owners of this.
That was one of the weakest episodes of Miami Vice ever.
That's why I got this.
Crockett's and Tubbs.
It was the grossest. I mean, going to one of these, by the way, keep in mind, I've said, you guys are fucking scumbags, you're pedophiles, you're a piece of shit. The car was hardly left and you've towed it, blah, blah, blah. It definitely said some stuff about how America's full of scumbags and this wouldn't happen in Australia probably. And they didn't obviously take to that. Who went and got the car? My fiance.
Yeah, of course. You send her in.
So I said, I'll go get the car. She goes, no, I'm going to get it because you were so crazy on the phone. You're probably going to get into an altercation in there. So she walks through. She told me when she got in there, they've got 2 security buzzer doors. The first door, apparently they check out to see whether you're fucking in a rage.
Yeah.
Then you get let to the next door.
And then also one of them doesn't let you out. If you say, fuck you, they can lock you in there.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then if you pay the money, you get to buzz through the next door where your car is and you drive out the back.
Yeah.
Is that legitimately the scummiest of jobs?
Why just not a... Yeah, it's right up there. Why not just a ticket? I have a mate who a fucking Tesla went through his house, went through the wall of his house, right? His roommate, he's a comedian, his roommate was in the other room, and if he was sitting at his desk would be dead, right? And he just like gone out to the bathroom, and then a Tesla just went through his fucking room. The whole house rattles. He's in the living room. What the fuck? The car goes through the fucking house. Anyway, they're shaken up and they're trying to and then a tow truck driver arrives there before the cops, as they do, right? Ready to go. Tow truck driver, he's ready to go. He's already loading up the fucking car. The guy's house is ruined. The guy's house is ruined. There's a hole in the fucking thing, and he's like, hey, just wait. The cops, I want the cops to see. And the driver in the car's like, it was the auto drive, but he wasn't paying attention. The auto drive would have never done that, right? Anyway, they're towing the truck away, and he's like, hey, can you just wait for the cops? And the guy was like, fuck you, buddy. Fuck off. All right, I'm doing a fucking job, doing that to him. And you're like, come on, man. The guy's house just had a hole put in it. I'll tell you a funny story about emergency services.
If tow truck drivers were trained as paramedics, it would probably be better for the system. They could save your life because they get there quicker and they clear the road.
When I was at 18, 19, I know because I had my shitty $400 car, I was driving back from my bar job in Sydney, and I was driving back, and there was a tree had caught on fire from the power lines or whatever, but a tree had, and then it moved to another little tree, and it was about to move to the house, And I fucking see this. I park my car up because it's like 4 a.m, right? Still pitch dark, right? 4 a.m, I'm coming back from my bar job. And I just go banging on the door, bang, 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 bang. And I get this family. I'm like, get out of your fucking house. Like this, they think I'm some psycho. I go, there's a fire. Get out of your fucking house. And then the next thing, like I'm a hero. The next thing I do is ring 000, which is our 911, right? And I ring 000, the emergency services like this. And I'm on the phone, I go like this. Okay, I'm on the corner of fucking, on Whitsett and fucking, and Burberry. And there's this fucking tree that I don't know how it's fucking caught on fire. And the girl's like this. If you're going to keep swearing. And
Is it the British police?
I'm like, you're the emergency.
I don't think the house is on fire, mate.
You're the emergency call line. Surely you've heard people who are hysterical. I had to hang up, like all bad customer service, ring back in until I found someone that was comfortable with the way I spoke.
Yeah, dude. Imagine like that kind of like political correctness on the battlefield. One of those guys. I've been hit. I'm bleeding out. I'm in pain. Give me some fucking morphine. Just no swearing. Just please.
I'm just trying to do my job.
May I please get some morphine?
Yeah. I don't get paid enough to be spoken to like that. It turns out this. I'll tell you who gets paid enough to be spoken to like that. All comedians. Could you imagine if you were heckling? You're fucking shit. Excuse me, I'm at my place of work right now. I don't need to be spoken to like this. I don't get paid enough to be spoken to.
I've seen some crowd work to that level. But I'll tell you what really pissed me off. I was flying home. I was flying home today and was talking about it with the missus, and I was only able to now sort of laugh about it. And what really bothers me about the tow truck situation is particularly knowing that there's all the stores that are restaurants that I went and dined at. Okay. I went and dined at. And yes, I did leave my car for a few hours to have a swim. Okay. Ultimately, what's happened there in my brain when I process it, it is the closest I think you can get to being caught like a fish, which is you've been lured in with food.
Yeah.
I've got into the Cuban. I've been distracted by the food.
You've been put on the deck and you've been hit over the head with a shovel.
And then literally a hook has taken my vehicle and ripped it out of there. So they have a scheme where they pull you in with food. They make it seem as it's safe. They disguise it because they hide the sign that says you'll get towed, and they fucking yank your car out of there. It makes you feel like a loser.
What do you reckon the Burger King kids get as a kickback per car? $20?
Oh yeah, I'd say yeah, $10 to $20. That's not a bad little side earn.
Yeah, you do. If you do three of them a shift.
Fucking rats, mate. Burger King rats.
Cunts.
McDonald's wouldn't do that.
Little fucking rat fucks. Little rat fucks. We're talking to you, Burger King employees of Florida.
So that's it. Also, Florida. Look, here's my overall take, which is like obviously at the high end. I guess if you're rich, it's a wonderful place to go. On the low end, I don't know. Maybe
that's America.
It's a scummy.
If you got money, scummy. It's a bit of fun. If you're poor, the American dream is you can achieve anything, but if you don't do it, you're fucked.
You're fucked. I mean, one of their mottos as a country is "Live free or die."
Yeah.
Well, nothing's for free. It's hard to live, and you're going to die.
And you have the right to pursue happiness. Not many people make it. Go chase away.
So that's America for you. To any of our friends, family, supporter groups coming over from Europe, the UK, Scotland. I see a lot of Scottish. I saw a bunch of Scottish fans coming in. Enjoy America. Look where you park. These dogs will take your car. And get out there and enjoy a crumble shake.
Yeah, and everything you order the small.
Order the small. That's it.
Order the small.
And go to Waffle House.
Go to Waffle House. Well, that's the podcast. Look, we're going to record another podcast we're going to try to record another one during the World Cup on our phones while we're away. That'll be something we'll do probably from Tacoma in the casino there in Seattle. And so we'll see you then.
I guess the next one Australia would have played.
One of the games. One of the games already played. Yeah, one of the games is already done. All right. Good night, Australia. Good night, pie lovers. Go Socceroos. Let's do it.